When wholesaling real estate, what comes first? Finding a deal or building your cash buyers list? If you want to know the answer to this age-old question, then you're going to want to stay tuned. Hey, Cody Sperber, the Clever Investor, back again. And today I want to answer a question that I get all the time from new real estate wholesalers. And the question is, what should I focus on first? Finding motivated sellers and getting a deal under contract, or building my cash buyers list? Now, before I answer that, if you're brand new to my channel, welcome. I'm grateful that you're going to spend just a few minutes with me. I've been wholesaling real estate for over 15 years now. I've been involved in thousands of transactions. And this is a place where people come to watch videos on building wealth and breaking free of the rat race using real estate and real estate investing as the pathway towards financial freedom. So if you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that bell so that way you get notified whenever new videos are posted, and leave me a comment down below letting me know that you're new to the channel. I'm going to respond back with a free gift. For everybody else, welcome back. All right, so what do you guys think? When you're first getting started wholesaling houses, what should you focus on first? Should you focus on finding a deal or building up a cash buyers list? Now, I remember being brand new, being in that place where you're a little overwhelmed, right? You're a new wholesaler and there's a lot of things going on. You're trying to learn how wholesaling works. You're trying to learn the language of real estate. And there's a lot of like new terms that we're, getting turned on to. Equity and foreclosures and earnest deposits and assignments and double closes and all this new language, right? And so I remember feeling really overwhelmed that I had to learn this whole new way to speak and think about making money. I also remember feeling, a lot of anxiety about filling out paperwork. Last thing in the world I ever wanted was to, fill out my paperwork wrong and maybe get into some legal trouble or get stuck into a bad deal. I remember feeling like, oh man, I got to network and I got to figure out, first how to talk to people, and then I got to go put myself in situations where I'm actually talking to people. So there's a lot of things coming together that first 6 months when you're trying to wholesale real estate. And while all that's going on, one thing that was really giving me a lot of anxiety was, okay, if I go out and I find a deal and I tell a seller that I'm going to buy their property for cash, and I put it under contract, and let's just say I do all of that correctly. And then I take that contract and I go and I shop it around to try and find a cash buyer to buy it from me so that way I can make my wholesale fee. What if I don't find a buyer? Am I going to get stuck into that deal? So literally, not only am I overwhelmed about the language and the paperwork and the networking and trying to put it all together, now I was really stressing out man, am I going to get stuck into a deal that I have to buy? I don't have any money. I got into wholesaling because I don't have money, and it's a creative no money down strategy. But now I'm have this anxiety about having to actually perform on the contract. But here's the thing. And when you look at my paperwork or any paperwork that you use, you should always have certain language in your contract that allows you to back out of a deal during your inspection period. All right, this is why mastering your paperwork is so vitally important. And if you don't have paperwork, I'm gonna hook you up real fast just for watching this video. I have a link down below where you can actually download my contracts. And in there, you're gonna see that there's a section about your inspection period. And it basically states that the inspection period ends the day before close of escrow. And during that inspection period, the buyer, meaning me, has the right to cancel the contract and get back our earnest deposit, right? So basically making it risk-free, get back the earnest deposit and walk away from the deal for pretty much any reason. And as long as your paperwork has language in there that allows you to back out during your inspection period, then there's really no risk to you. So once I understood that, I started realizing wow, there's not a lot of risk for me to go and put houses under contract, shop it around, try to find a cash buyer, and see if I can't move the deal. Now, I share that with you because when I really look at what we do, finding a deal is actually the hardest part of the transaction. A good deal is going to sell itself. All right, so every single time, and I mean I've done thousands of deals, every single time I put a house under contract that was a good house at a good price, and I marketed it around, even if I didn't have a cash buyer's list, and I marketed it on, nowadays, if I put it out on Craigslist and I put it out on social media, maybe on the Facebook Marketplace, if I, shopped it around town going to network meetings and I had a little property flyer and I held it up and said, hey, here's a good deal. It's not on the MLS, it's an off-market deal. Who wants it? If it was a good deal, it would sell itself typically within 24 hours. Now, if you don't already have a cash buyer's list, I'm just going to put a link right up here. And there's another video where I kind of break down some of the best ways to build a cash buyer's list. So check that video out. But right now, my cash buyer's list has over 30,000 cash buyers on it, right? I've been doing this business for a long time, so I'm always working to build my cash buyer's list. And over time, I built a huge cash buyer's list. But here's the thing. I sell all of my deals to pretty much about the same 100 people. All right, so that means out of all 30,000+ cash buyers on my list, I sell deals to the same group of people over and over and over. So you really don't need a massive cash buyer's list. Like I said, a good deal will sell itself. All right, but now that I built a cash buyer's list, it makes it really nice. I just get a property under contract. I use text message marketing to sell my deals. So I literally blast out a text message to all of my cash buyers. One of the same 100 people typically buys it. That means the other, 29,900 people have never bought a property from me and probably will never buy a property from me. So it's not the size of your buyer's list. It's the relationship I actually built with the 100 actual buyers. And when I say buyers, I'm talking about professional rehabbers and professional landlords. All right? These are the people that literally can make a buying decision within a couple of hours of receiving your text message or receiving your email or seeing your property flyer or seeing your post on Craigslist or in the Facebook Marketplace. These guys are out looking for deals. They're working with agents to find deals on the MLS, and they're working with wholesalers to find off-market deals. And they have software and they have strategies to be able to analyze the deal quickly. So there's really two schools of thought. To go back to our original question, what should you do first? Should you find deals or should you build a cash buyer's list? My answer to that question is you should do both at the exact same time, but focus the majority of your energy on finding deals, because I think that's the hardest part of the transaction. That's why here at Clever Investor, we spend so much time with our students, and as a mentor, I work with my students a lot one-on-one, just saying, hey, how are we going to market to find motivated sellers? How do we get to the best deals first before all the other wholesalers in town or before all the other investors in town or real estate agents in town find out about that deal? What data can we use? What software can we use? What tools and technology can we use to get out in front of everybody else and get to the best deals first? Then I work really hard with working with you guys on influence and negotiation theory, how to build a rapport quickly, how to overcome objections, how to get the seller to say yes and make it their idea so they're not feeling like you're manipulating them or forcing them into a deal, but instead it's a win-win-win situation. Everybody in the transaction feels good about it because of how you approached it, how you created your offers, your offer delivery strategy, all of that. And then obviously the paperwork, making sure that you know how to fill out the paperwork correctly so that way you can lock up the deal and also have the ability to get out of the deal if it ends up not being a good deal and you can't move it. The flip side of the coin, all right, I will say this. The flip side of the coin is there is something out there called reverse wholesaling. And what reverse wholesaling essentially is let's say out of those 100 buyers, I took the time to call all of them and build a buyer profile on them. And I knew Bob wants deals in this zip code, in this price range. He wants 3-bedroom, 2 baths, about this size, right? And I knew everything that Bob was looking for. In fact, I even took the extra step to maybe go out to a couple of Bob's rehab projects, and I really understand what Bob's looking for. I can ask Bob, tell me the exact amount of money that you want to spend, exactly what zip codes and what part of town you want to spend it in. Then I can take that information and I can go around to all the local wholesalers in town, all the local real estate agents in town that work that particular area, And as soon as a deal comes up in that area, I grab it, I shop it to Bob. I say, Bob, I got a deal. This is right in your buying criteria box. Bob says, let me look at it. He analyzes it. He says, I'll take it. And before you know it, I'm putting together a co-wholesale deal, or I'm reverse engineering Bob's buying criteria in order to put a deal in front of him and make a quick wholesale fee. All right, that's reverse wholesaling. I like it, and there's some people. I actually had a student named Hunter. I'll put a picture of him up here right now. Young kid, scared to death to get on the phones. He didn't want to ever go to a seller's house. He wanted nothing to do with really even wholesaling. He wanted a business that allowed him to sit behind his computer, and basically all he wanted to do was build a buyer's list. He didn't want to go and talk to sellers. He didn't want to go out to houses. He never even wanted to go to see the real estate. All he wanted to do is find buyers, build a cash buyer's list, find out what they're looking for, then go out to other wholesalers in town, get the inventory, and sell it to his buyer's list. And, God bless him. He went out there and he built the biggest buyer's list in town, one of the strongest buyer's lists in town. He was a professional DM for dollarers. If that even made sense. That's all he did was DM for dollars, text message for dollars, and he just built this great buyer's list. And next thing you know, he was one of the largest co-wholesalers in town, and he still is to this day. There's some months where him and his group do 60, 70, 80 deals in a month. And it all just started with him mastering, sitting behind his computer, building a buyer's list, building relationships with those buyers, then reverse wholesaling and finding the inventory that works for them. So, two schools of thought. The end result is do both at the same time. Build your buyer's list. I spend about an hour or two a day building relationships with my cash buyers, and the rest of the time I'm focused on finding deals because, like I said, that's the most challenging part. All right, now you know. And knowing's half the battle. I heard that somewhere. I think that was He-Man. Was that He-Man? G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe? Yeah, well, knowing's half the battle.
Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!
All right, so what do you guys think on this one? Drop me a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this one. And just remember, even though the beginning can feel a little overwhelming, I'm telling you, if you just stay consistent, you keep educating yourself, you surround yourself with the right people that can, support you on your journey, everything will gel together. And I remember looking back, thinking it was overwhelming, but the reality is I was in my own way a lot. I overcomplicated things. So you got this. You can do this no matter which strategy you focus on, whether it's finding deals or finding buyers. I'm telling you, it will all pay off in the end. So keep at it. All right. And speaking of real estate wholesaling, if you want to learn how I do it, the steps that I follow, the exact blueprint, click the link down in the pinned comment section and take me up on my 30-day deal challenge. All right. We have a challenge that we put together where I literally map out every single step in the entire process for 30 days. So there's no guesswork. On Monday, do this. On Tuesday, do this. On Wednesday, do this for 30 days. And by the time you're done, you'll be a deal maker, just like me. You know what to do. Click the link. That's all I have for you on this one. I'm Cody Sperber, the Clever Investor, signing off for now. Take care. Comb your hair. Sperber out.